Hi. So this is a screenshot of a text message that I made on my iPhone using my regular text app using emoji, which are Japanese emoticons. And all the images you're going to see are actual text messages. So, and Alice in Wonderland is one of my favorite books and also a book that I've learned a lot from. So today I'm going to share some of that stuff in kind of a new format. On the very first page of the book, Alice talks about the importance of pictures and conversations when it comes to telling a story. And so I thought this is the perfect format, texts being kind of a modern conversation, and emoji being the pictures that we have at our disposal in those conversations. Like 2 weeks ago when I first thought of this idea, I had never made emoji art before, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be totally awesome or just totally lame, but here we are. So one thing we can learn from Alice right away is that when you have a big scary experience, like falling down a rabbit hole, for example, it puts other experiences into perspective and makes them a little less scary. So then Alice grows to 9 feet tall, she freaks out, she cries in ocean, then she gets tiny and she has to swim her way out, and she does. And it's not a big deal, and there was no need for so many tears. So then she meets the Cheshire Cat, and she's like, Cheshire Cat, I'm lost, where should I go? And he's like, well, where do you want to go? She's like, I don't know. And he's like, all right, we'll just go somewhere. So Alice is pretty daring for a 7-year-old. I would not recommend drinking out of random bottles that you find in the street, but I would recommend trying not to be afraid of things that are totally new or unfamiliar. So Alice spends a lot of time being afraid of the Queen's royal army, and then she realizes they're just a pack of cards. They're made of cardboard. We shouldn't be afraid of cardboard and other things. So she also changes a lot. She gets big, she gets small, she gets big, she gets small, and it freaks her out. And so of all things to go to share her worries, she goes to a caterpillar, which is really the ultimate example of the beautiful things that can come from being open to change. She also comes across white roses being painted red, dripping with red paint. And she asks, why would you do that? Because they were fine. They were beautiful as they were on their own. So when I thought of joining a dance, I thought of the choice to join life. When I thought of life, I was like, oh, a tree. And then when I thought of a tree, I was like, oh, I'm going to add an apple. And then that gave me the tree of life, which is what you see here. So sometimes I feel like we wish we could stop time because we feel like maybe there isn't enough of it. But, you know, for the Mad Hatter, it's always tea time. All he can do is have tea. And it's not actually that ideal. So everyone's crazy in Alice in Wonderland, but I feel like it's good to be a little crazy. Maybe it's good to have our heads in the clouds a little bit so we can imagine new possibilities and kind of think beyond the everyday. So it's a good thing. So nonsense is a big theme. Sometimes even the text itself makes no sense, but it does if you look at it a little bit differently. So I made this crazy typewriter, and what kind of story could anyone possibly write with these weird keys? But if you look a little closer, there is actually a story there. I can't tell you the whole thing now, but you know, I'll just tell you that there's a man, he meets a woman at an ATM machine, a bunch of stuff happens, in the end, it's really cool. So today is not my birthday, but it is still an excellent day to give me presents and throw me a party. So just think it over. So the scariest monster in Alice in Wonderland is the Jabberwocky. But I agree with this unicorn that monsters and other things that we're not so familiar with can actually be pretty fabulous. And so when I originally made this one, I thought this quote came from the Red Queen of Hearts, but actually it's from the White Queen. But I left it anyway as a big red heart because I love it so much. I love the idea of believing impossible things and breakfast. And finally, this one is pretty self-explanatory. Love is definitely what makes the world go round. Thanks.